we are testing the microphone. Let's see how loud I can be. This is going to be a disclaimer of what the video is going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about AI art, which I find that people tend to exaggerate that it's going to steal jobs just a little bit, but it doesn't stop people from trying, which this is always something comes up and people just like, oh, it's going to steal jobs from people, and it's just like, it could, but people are going to try to do it anyways. And we are at the infancy of people trying it, and some people are getting away with it and some people aren't. I think with any new thing, it has a little bit of people like questioning how good or bad something is when it's something new. But like I said, disclaimer, just my opinion, but I'm willing to talk about it. I'll say there is going to probably be a lot of jump cuts in like the quality of the videos. I'll try to fix them, but I'm still relatively new at this. So when I talk, I do tend to stop every few seconds to let my brain catch up with my mouth. But you're not missing much. It's either me going on a really bad like rant, not bad rant, but something that's like off topic, and I just cut it out because it's like, it's not even part of the situation, and I just want to keep everything on topic of this subject. So let's get on with the video. Now, on the subject of AI art, I will say that I'm with the side of artists that it can be very disheartening when it comes to people using it to try to say that they can make an artist like picture with little to no effort. And it is genuinely disheartening when you see a lot of these AI art and they take other artists' pictures as references and they meld them together like this amalgamation of like a Frankenstein's monster type picture, and it generally does look kind of good. And it's just like, oh, a robot or an AI made this, and they relatively did a decent job, but there is some things that it tends to still get wrong with the fine details. It's just something that always and probably will always look off about the picture. But not necessarily every picture that has that off factor is AI art, which I also hate when people look at something that's a little bit weird, because that's the general like thing about it, is like, it's supposed to look a little bit weird, and then it's just like, oh, it's AI art and stuff like that. And it's like, not everything's AI art. It's just that it's supposed to look a little bit off. It's like that uncanny valley when you see something that looks normal but you feel like it's not normal. And we tend to have that feeling of like, oh, this isn't real, but when it is, it's just like, oh, okay. But I will say this about AI art: it does have the potential of being good, and I think this is what people had the idea of what AI art would have been if people didn't come in and ruin it for everyone. And I think it's a good tool for references if you're looking for a particular reference of a thing. I know as artists, we use references a lot. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, references is cheating. References is non-imaginative. And to them, good for you that you don't use references. I applaud you for developing your skill to not use references. But to a majority of people, we do need a reference, because you can tell when someone is not using a reference and is using a reference for a majority of people. Some people develop that they don't need it, but that is okay. And I think AI art has a potential to be a tool to help artists and to help them develop their art as using the thing that they generate art and use that as a reference. Now, what I don't like is when people use AI art and then post it like it is their own. That is just a form of art theft with extra steps, because it's literally taking pictures off the internet and mixing them together and what is the word? Just dealing out this picture that of these prompts that you put in the thing, but it took a bunch of concepts of different people's art and mashed them together. This does not this is not to dishearten people for making collage works. If you categorize your art piece as a collage work, collage works usually take a bunch of things and mash them together to make a cohesive piece. But usually people who make collage works will link down below where they got their pictures from, or credit the people that all these images came from, and will credit the person who made it. Usually. Sometimes some people just use free assets and then they won't credit the free asset because it's just that's what they were made of or made for. And I understand if you're using a lot of images to mix together, sometimes you'll forget here or there, and that's another gray area. There's going to be a lot of gray areas when it comes to artworks and stuff like that. It's almost like we're artists. It's not just necessarily black and white. There's so many different shades of gray here, to quote someone. To kind of wrap this up, it's okay to use AI art as a reference. It is okay to use AI art for fun. It's okay to just do it as a joke and post this weird thing. I know it disheartens when something develops, when an AI thing that does it so flawlessly with no imaginative thing. And it's just oh, people will use that to be oh, now you can't tell the difference between real art and AI art. But I think what people need to understand is, yeah, people are going to be like that, but I do believe AI art may not, it may not. Wow, this is why I hate one of the main things of just doing something off script. You just kind of blah, 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 blah. But I don't think it will take over artists' jobs. Not necessarily it won't stop people from doing that, but I think the laws of copyright laws and stuff like that will develop to cover these areas, because that's what it's always done to help with artists. I think nowadays they're developing a thing where if your art piece has been used in an AI art generator, it will let you know, and then you can find this art piece that has used it, and then you can claim it as hey, this is an AI art using my thing because of this property, and this generation thing, which I find good, because then it gets rid of the people who are just trying to use it to make a free art piece without paying someone to do it, thinking that they can just get away with it. And honestly, I don't think we want those people who do this to commission artists, because it seems like these people would be the ones that would complain that someone's art is too expensive. And we don't like those people. If you don't like our prices, then don't buy it. Yes, go do your freaking reference thing if you don't want to pay for it. But I've seen people use AI references to help them get references so they can commission artists to make them something, because they don't know where to start and try to get like references for a character they want to do, but they can't draw it themselves to make it look effectively to an artist. But that's going to be another video of how to commission art from an artist and what you can use as references to help the artist make your character. So I hope you have a wonderful day.